If you're interested in all things motorcycle, ranging from the gear we use to news from around the world, including the 2021 Suzuki Hayabusa, stick around to find out more. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Lee, aka Rollin Thunder, and in today's video we're going to take a brief overview of the 2021 Suzuki Hayabusa, the elephant in the room. Now, a lot of people have different opinions on what the new Hayabusa looks like in comparison to styling and stuff like that. But what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to try and break it down for you a little bit so you can get a rough idea of what the 2020 bike was like compared to now the 2021 bike. This is just a brief overview and my own personal opinion on what the new Busa is like compared to the last year's or 2019 Busa. So I've got a few tech specs and bits and pieces that I've scribbled down so you can get an idea of what the comparisons are from last year to this year. So without further ado, let's get cracking. In comparison from last year to this year, the 2020 bike reads as follows. Price, you're looking at 16.5 grand. It's a 1340cc engine. Power output is 197 bhp. Torque figures is quite healthy of 114 foot-pounds with a top speed of 186 miles an hour. The 2020 bike also comes fully furnished with fully adjustable KYB front forks, 310mm discs with Brembo monoblock calipers, with a fuel tank capacity of 21 litres, all combining in a total wet weight of 268 kilos. The 2021 bike, however, is also going to be the same price of 16,499 with the same size engine, but there is a little bit of a change in comparison to last year's bike in terms of figures, and they're as follows. The overall power is 187 bhp this year, which is down a little bit from last year, which is expected because of the emissions laws in these days in Euro 5. Torque figures are still reasonably healthy at 110 foot-pounds with a top speed of 186 miles an hour. 2021 bike is still rocking fully adjustable KYB front forks, but the big thing that they've changed in terms of the front end is that they've actually increased the size of the discs from 310mm to 320mm, and they've upgraded the braking system from the standard Brembo monoblocks to the now Brembo Stylimas, which you see on things like the Ducatis, the Aprilias and so on. Also, as another downside, the bike has actually lost a litre of fuel, dropping down now to a 20-litre fuel tank. That being said, that's not much of a bad thing. Reason being is that the new bike has got new electronics for this year. It's got bigger throttle bodies, and it's also got a new revamped injection system with secondary injectors, which by all accounts will help improve atomization. So that will result in better performance at low and mid-range, and also a better fuel consumption. For this year in comparison to last year, they've revamped the dash a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of a side by side so you can see what the old one looked like compared to the new one, so you get an idea of what the sort of thing that the rider's going to look at when they're stuck behind the bubble, giving it some down the private roads. My personal opinion on the Hayabusa, I've never really been a fan of them. I mean, I know they're great for touring, they're big, they're comfortable, they're fast. I mean, they're biblically fast, but that's not the point. When I actually had the chance to sit on a Hayabusa a couple of years ago, yes, it was very, very heavy, but then again, I was jumping off a Ducati 748, so, you know, the weight difference is quite substantial. However, a lot of people that have bought Hayabusas over the years have actually used them as drag bikes, used them as street racing bikes. They used to be very, very big in America, and I believe they still are. But on the whole, I would say, for me, I'm not the Hayabusa's biggest fan. With the fact that they've now managed to make the Hayabusa Euro 5 compliant, means that there's going to be some other weird wizardry and trickery going on in the engine to make it compliant with all sorts of things like that. But for me, the biggest plus point for the 2021 bike over the 2020 bike is the fact that they've now put the bigger, better looking, better performing Stylima Brembo calipers on them. On the bike, that is. Will they sell a lot in the UK? Yes, I definitely believe they will sell a lot in the UK. And considering they've stuck to the same prices as they did last year and the year before, you know, that can only be a good thing. With that, you know, when the Hayabusa was around in 2019 and the beginning of 2020, Suzuki decided not to revamp the bike last year because of the Euro 5 laws coming in for this year. So they thought, nah, scrap it. We're not going to make any more for 2020. Wait for 2021 to come along, and they were just going to actually smash out the park with a new model, or a revamped model, which is exactly what they've done. Another little side point is they've changed the actual design of the wheels on the bike. Instead of going from the usual old school chunky 3-spoke wheels, they've now gone to a 7-spoke, if I remember rightly. And that is supposedly to help with overall mass and rotational forces on the front and rear wheels to help with traction and yada yada yada. Final thoughts on the bike. The bike looks pretty cool. I mean, it's not my cup of tea, I'll be honest. I'm not really one of those sort of big, wide, long, low, kind of fast, kind of biker kind of things. I'm still very much into my proper sports bikes, if you pardon the pun. But I do think that the Hayabusa has got a place in the market. It always has done, always will do. It's always going to have a competitor in things like now the Ninja H2. I don't know whether Honda are going to ever bring out another Blackbird or XXR or whatever they called it back in the day. You know, those two bikes were probably the two fastest production bikes since before the H2. But I digress. We'll see what happens in 2021. We'll see how things go. At the end of the day, you know, a new bike's a new bike. Do you know what I mean? I hope you've enjoyed this brief little overview, and I hope it wasn't too information packed, and I hope you got something out of it. And as always, thank you for the support, thank you for the likes and the comments. And I know I say this in every video, but if you want to be part of the crew, please get involved and subscribe. You know, all the subscribers are greatly appreciated. Like I said in the previous video, I'm looking to hit 100,000 subscribers this year. So if you want to jump on board and be part of that, by all means, smash that like button, ding that bell, and drop a sub. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is Lee, aka Rollin Thunder, saying look after yourselves, look after each other, stay away from COVID-19, be safe on the roads, especially in the UK now that it's been snowing. But please, please, please be safe, enjoy your bikes, enjoy life, and as always, adios!